we want to do a summary of the relational algebra in this section. And we provide you with lots of information about the relational algebra in this part, right? We cover lots of basic operators and also how to use them to write very complex queries to help us. And you may also wonder, right, why we need to learn this. We can write this query very easily with a C++ or Java. Why we need to learn the relational algebra? So we provide you with two reasons. First of all, each operation may have very sophisticated implementation if we write code in C++ or Java, right? Let's think about this join or the selection, right? This kind of operation can be very complicated to implement with C++ or Java. And also, exploration in the relational algebra can be returned or can be optimized. However, it's very hard to do this optimization in the C++ or Java code. Therefore, we need to learn this relational algebra, then we can further study how to implement them in SQL. And we also provide you with a concrete example to show you the challenges if we don't use the relational algebra in SQL, but only use the C++ or Java, right? Let's assume if we want to do the selection for all the employees whose age are between 30 and 35. You can imagine if you write a code in C++ or Java to implement this query, how will you do, right? What you will do is to scan the whole file and also test each employee in this instance, and also compare this age of the instances against its range we provided, right? You can imagine how many lines of code you need to write for this very simple query, right? Besides the selection, let's first think about this joins between two tables. If you plan to write the code, implement this operation in C++ or Java, the code you write can be very long and can be very complicated. You need to open two files and also check all the rows, row by row, and also compare against with each other to find the common attributes, the join attributes, and further to the selection and to the projection. It will be very complicated. Right, so therefore we need to learn this relational algebra that allow us to design the queries in a very simple expression. It will further help us to implement them in SQL to be learned later. Okay, this is pretty much up about this section. I hope you can learn this section very well, and we can move to the relational design in next week. So based on what we have covered, you should be able to do the homework 2 with some question already. So you can start to work on the homework 2 right now on some questions. And we will go to the relational design in the next week, which will be very difficult, so please be prepared. Okay, that's it for this week, and I hope you have a nice weekend.